Hello everyone, today for math we are doing some two-digit addition and we're used to one-digit addition and really two-digit addition, it's not much different than two-digit addition and we'll take a look at that in a second. But in order for us to do some two-digit addition, we do need to take out our base 10 blocks to build some numbers. So take out those base 10 blocks and I'm going to get you to build two numbers for me. Once you build the first number, don't put the blocks away. Keep them out there in front of you and then we will add those two numbers together. So don't put them away. We're not going to be done with them yet. The first number that I would like you to build is the number 15. Can you build 15 for me? 15 will look like this, a 1 and a 5. Can you build the number 15 for me? I'll do it here. There is a 1 in the tens column, so I need 1 tens. And there is a 5 in the ones column, which means that I need 5 ones. Okay, so now that I have my first number built, we're going to keep it there. I want to build my second number. Now my second number is going to be 22. Can you build the number 22 and just put it there with 15? 22 looks like this, a 2 and a 2. Since there is a 2 in the tens place, I need to make sure I have 2 tens. And since there is a 2 in the ones place, I need to make sure that I have my 2 ones. So what I'm going to do now is add these two numbers together. I have 15 plus 22 here. I'm showing it to you with my number question and I'm showing it to you with my base 10 blocks. Now, when we add two-digit numbers together, we always start with the ones column. So we can just ignore the tens for now. We're going to pretend they're not there. Take a look at just the ones column. In my ones column, it's like I have 5 plus 2. Now, I'm sure that some of you can already answer that for me, but let's take a look at the base 10 blocks. Let's count them all together. Remember, adding is when we put the numbers together. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, counting on, 7. It's like saying 5 plus 2 is 7. We know it's 7 because we can do the math, and we know it's 7 because we counted the base 10 blocks. So now let's look at the tens column. In the tens column, we ignore the ones column for now, so we can pretend that that's done. We don't need to look at it anymore. Our tens column looks like it says 1 plus 2. We can do that math right away, but we can also take a look at how many groups of 10 we have. So let's count how many we have. 1 group of 10, 2 groups of 10, 3 groups of 10. It's like saying 1 plus 2 equals 3, or it's like counting our 3 groups of 10. We can take a look at our answer. We have it figured out. 15 plus 22 equals 37. And we can count all of our base 10 blocks together to see if the answer we have is what we see with our base 10 blocks. So when we're counting the base 10 blocks, let's start with the tens, the groups of tens. Remember, we count these by tens. 10, 20, 30, counting on 1, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. So we know we got the answer right. We did our math. We also used our base 10 blocks. But grade 1, I want to try this with you again. So feel free to rearrange your base 10 blocks. This time we're going to try a little bit of a harder question, maybe a little bit tougher. Let's try another added question. So the next number that I would like you to build is the number 40. Can you build the number 40? We're going to build the number 40. The number 40 looks like this. It's a 4 and a 0. So we have the number 40. We have a 4 in the tens place, which means that our number should have 4 tens. And our number 40 has a 0 in the ones place, which means we don't need any ones here. The next number that I would like you to build is the number 27. Can you build for me the number 27? 27 looks like this. 2 and a 7. We have the number 27 here. There is a 2 in the tens place, so we need to make sure we have our 2 groups of 10. We have a 7 in the ones place, which means we need to make sure we have 7 ones. Well, let's see if we have them all here. Okay, now what we're going to do is add these two numbers together. So it's going to look like this. 40 plus 27 equals something. So let's take a look at our number here. We have just our ones column first. So we're going to ignore the tens for now. It's like saying we have 0 plus 7 right now. We could just do this right away, but I do want us to take a look at our base 10 blocks. So our base 10 blocks here, we have 0 in the ones column. There's nothing for us to add here. Let's count the second number. So how many do we have in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've counted all of our ones, and there were 7. So we'll write the number 7 down. We also know that 0 plus 7 is 7. Let's try the tens column now. So this time we're going to ignore the ones column. We have 4 plus 2. 4 plus 2 we could just do in our heads right now, but let's also take a look at the tens in our two numbers, and let's count how many groups of 10 we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 groups of 10, so we can write our 6 here. We know that there are 6 groups of 10. We counted them, but we also know that 4 plus 2 equals 6. So let's count now our numbers and see if we have 67 with our base 10 blocks. Remember, when we're counting them, we start with the tens. So let's count together. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Now we're counting our ones. We count down by 1. 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67. So we have our answer right. We know it's right for sure because we checked with our base 10 blocks. So what I would like you to do now is open up your textbooks to page 141. On page 141, we're going to kind of do the exact same thing we did on the board, but this time we see it with beans and containers of beans. So we have our groups of 10 and our groups of 1. What I first would like you to do is take a look at the first number here. Write how many 10s and 1s there are and write the 2-digit number on the line beside. Write how many 10s and 1s there are and the 2-digit number beside. Then I would like you to draw how many beans there are all together in the box. Draw the containers of beans, how many there are all together in the box. And write the answer for the 2-digit adding question on the line. Just do your very best with the drawing. It doesn't have to look perfect. You can just do circles and squares maybe if it's tough. I'd like you to do that same thing for the whole page, and then you're going to turn the page to do page 142. On page 142, Cora and Milo are going to the pet store. So what we need to do for this one here is try and see if we can answer the adding questions that are here. So this first one has to deal with what Cora's buying. This next one has to do with what Milo's buying. And then the last one, we need to take the answer from question number 5, plug it in. So it's our first number in question number 7, and then add those two numbers together. If you're having a tough time doing the adding without your base 10 blocks or without seeing the beans, feel free to make the numbers with your base 10 blocks to do the adding. So if you would like to, you can show 50 with your base 10 blocks, and you can show 25 with your base 10 blocks, and add those numbers together. And that is all of your work for today.